This anime is absolutely huge in Japan. Every single week an episode comes out, it is trending in Japan, and sometimes it even makes it into a worldwide scale. It's clear as day that this series is incredibly popular, and it's gaining a lot of momentum with each episode that comes out week to week on a Saturday. And the reason is actually pretty obvious if you have watched all the episodes up to this very point, up to the episode that came out today, episode 9. And episode 9 is, how to say, bluntly, a very emotional episode. It's sad. Like, the entirety of this episode, like, if you want to just summarize this episode, the whole theme of it, everything, it's a very sad episode, because, like, everything about this is kind of talking about Chisato's death. Her end is coming. And there is a lot of emotion throughout this entire episode, finding out more about the mystery behind how she got her heart, to kind of how long it would last, when she was noticed for being so talented with being able to dodge bullets, etc. There's a lot of things here, and even get to see the heart and how it's kind of like, the best model they had in the past, and, that's the reason why there's kind of a timer on it. There's a lot to really take away from this episode, and even, like, the relationship between these two characters, it kind of really saying, yeah, these two were actually going out with each other. It pretty much painted it as clear as day with the way this episode was. But obviously, let's get into the nitty-gritty what this episode was, okay? What was going on, etc. So obviously, yes, there's a lot of emotion. There's sadness, and you're gonna feel like the tragedy coming on, and the death flags and everything have kind of been there pretty much since the beginning. Like, I mean, with the whole spider lilies, the flowers, etc., to finding out about the artificial heart that, Chisato had, there's been just a lot of things that this story has done to really just set up the fact that, yes, there is death flags. Yes, one of the characters might probably permanently die at the end of the story. Now, will that happen? Who knows? We'll find out as we get closer and closer to the ending. But the point is that the series has not tried to hide the fact that, yes, we were going to have a turn like this. We were going to have something very sad happen. And I think what made it clear as day, honestly, when they really just did not want to shy away from the fact that something sad was going to happen, was when there was that entire episode with that old man in the wheelchair. And even though we found out about the twist at the end, that entire segment of the episode was pretty much significant, or telling us that, Chisato is someone that's going around in life, and she's experiencing life to the fullest, her final days to the fullest, before lights her out, and that is the end for her. And that's kind of what this episode is. It's kind of like that same episode a few weeks back, but just from Chisato's experience. Or in this way, she's kind of been doing that since the beginning. Ever since she received her artificial heart, she has been on borrowed time. She has been on time that has just been extended until she was like the age of 17, 18, and then her life will cease. It's over. And it's very sad. There's a lot to discuss here. So, obviously, looking past the sadness and the tragedy and, poor, Takina and what she's going through, finally finding a friend and a place to belong, and opening up, getting friends, and not being so cold or distant from everyone, which is what I talked about when I started my reviews of this story, that, Takina as a character is probably going to open up. As, like, the story continued, we are probably going to see the differences between the two individual characters. You're going to have, Takina that was going to be cold at first, and then become more like Chisato and be more open, happy-go-lucky, and just trying to spread good vibes to everyone around her. While Chisato was someone that obviously came from something very sad or tragic at the beginning, but she tried to distance herself from that and also save people and use the little time that remains in her life to bring happiness to others and save as many people as she can. And I feel like as her journey continues and she gets closer and closer to, like, say, for instance, Takina, and she realizes the people she loves and she's going to leave behind, she's going to probably become more distant and maybe even try to push people away to a certain extent. Maybe I'm entirely wrong with that, and maybe, the whole point of this is that Chisato has already come to terms. She's accepted the fact that she's dead, or she's going to die. And yes, she's kind of painted that picture, like if you go to the beginning of, like, the episode or whatever, and they're talking about, the heart of Chisato, it seems like she has accepted this for a very long time. She's been aware of it, because she's just accepting the harsh reality that there's just nothing she can do. But at the same time, does she really accept that reality. And let me explain from my perspective, okay? Obviously, looking at, like, Chisato's perspective on this, like, she understands she's going to die. Like, she's aware of this, okay? And she's known this for a very long time. But the point I wonder about her character is that, has she accepted that fact because she realizes that there's no way of saving herself? For instance, that is the cold, harsh facts that there is no way for her to lengthen her life. So even if she wanted to basically continue living, there is no possible option for that. And so is she in that state of mind to where she's just given up? Basically, she's a person that has given up on the will to live because there really is no reason to try to fight the inevitable, because eventually she will succumb to death. And I guess that plays into the roles of life and death as well, since everybody technically will face death one day. There's a lot of symbolic meaning there and ways you can really interpret that and dive headfirst into the storytelling of Chisato's character with life and death. But the point I'm trying to make is with her character decision, is the reason why she's so accepting of the fact that she's going to die soon is because she felt like she's just been trapped and there's no option for her. And so if someone was to, let's say, hand, a new heart on a silver platter to her, would she take that option to live? That is the question. And that's kind of what I want to bring up there, okay? The point is when I think where the story is going right now, especially like with the way this ending is and all that, I feel like, the big setup here at the end and all that, I feel like he has another heart. I feel like this man has another heart that either is the exact same thing that, Chisato's been using, or it's a new upgraded version since many years have passed, and, we know there's a lot of mystery around the, institution that gave Chisato her heart in the first place. There is still so much mystery there. So the point I'm trying to make is what if he walks up to Chisato, he's like, look, there is a way for you to continue to live, but now, instead of being a savior of people and just saving people, you must kill people. And that's what he might do. And so it's like, I'll give you a heart for you to keep living, but you have to do this now. And I wonder if Chisato will take that, if she could lengthen her life even further. It would play a nice narrative to kind of show that Chisato has never been okay with wanting to die. She's wanted to live, but she felt like there was just no way out. I think that would be a really cool story perspective and telling for her character if it does go down that direction. But, let's go a little bit further into this. So, one of the other things I like about this episode is the fact that you see everybody kind of reflecting on the fact that they want to do anything they can in their power to be able to save Chisato, but obviously they really can't, because they don't really know the technology. There's some mysteries there that they might uncover, but they are trying their best, and it's clearly leading up to something to where they're going to figure something out. They're going to figure something out for she could potentially live. And there's another twist that this series could do. If there isn't, let's say, another heart that, Chisato could actually use to continue living, I feel like there's going to be something that's going to happen to where Chisato is going to be given a living heart. Now, hear me out on this one, okay? I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm no doctor, I'm no surgeon, but we got to remember at the end of the day, this is an anime. Okay, let's be honest there. So basically, and we also, can think that there has been hints that, there's different unique technology in this world. But, we have to assume that it is potentially possible if Chisato was to find a donor, like a donor heart, and someone that matched her blood type and all that, the right size of the heart, etc. Theoretically, she could probably get a living heart transplant. Now, I feel like the way this is building up is that maybe, like, for instance, Mike here, he might be someone that might have a compatible heart or something, and maybe he could potentially die, and he might give his heart over to Chisato to be able to live, or maybe, Takina, or maybe the opposite happens. Maybe Takina loses something on her body. Maybe she loses an arm, or maybe, her lungs or something get damaged, or something like that. Maybe eyes, and, Chisato decides to give up those body parts to Takina to be able to have them, and be able to live on. I feel like something like that's going to happen as the story progresses. It's either going to be a living body part donated to someone, or a new artificial heart's going to be bestowed to Chisato. I don't really think that she's permanently going to die. I don't believe that. Obviously, this series could throw a curveball. It could definitely do that. It could throw a curveball, smack us in the face, and be like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? That could obviously happen, but I don't think so. Who knows? We will see, though. Now, I really love this series. It's so good, and it makes so much sense why it's making so many waves and becoming very popular in Japan. And like I said, it's trending almost every single week. It's just amazing. It's great. It's great to see that. I love seeing a series I enjoy and I love watching just be a banger, be a solid banger of an anime, and people love it. It is always something I greatly enjoy. But I guess I'll leave it at that. If you enjoyed the video, as always, do leave me a like. It does help me out a lot, and I always greatly appreciate it. And, you know, it helps with more of my videos to appear on the YouTube feed for more new people that have never seen my content to see it, you know, to allow you guys to see it if you do want to keep updated with maybe news or reviews, etc. And I appreciate it if you give me a like and stuff and all that, because it's like, I like seeing the numbers kind of go up a little bit. I'm gonna keep it real. I love that little hit of dopamine, seeing, you know, the likes continue to skyrocket. But anyways, you all have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.